I am a massive fan of Crimson Peak. I probably watched it 100 times.
Yeah.
Ghost
Okay.
stories. What makes ghost stories good?
Oh gosh. So I really think that what makes ghost stories good is the richness of the setting, right? And the best ghost stories are set in one place. Crimson Peak takes place primarily in that house, right? On top of that just mound of awful crap that they're that they're mining out, right? That happens to be colored like blood because it looks cool. The setting is really really important, and building a story through the setting, building a story environmentally is really what makes ghost stories compelling. It's not enough to tell people like, oh, there was a person who lived here and they experienced this awful thing and they dealt with this death and they had this tragedy in their life, and a great injustice was done to them and then they died. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's interesting, but what's more interesting is when there's a ghost and a spirit and these things are happening that are tied to those things and that backstory, and you're discovering that through these awful occurrences that escalate into what ghost stories always end up doing, which is just full on coming at whatever the protagonist character is. That's the way that you make ghost stories really interesting. That's how you draw people into that setting in the story, is to environmentally explain what's going on rather than just like lore dump all of this stuff, because that's what the best films and games and things do, right? Is that they allow you to discover and reason out what's happened, and then that realization sinking in while the action and the tension is arising, and the climax is happening. That's what's really effective for ghost stories.
And center to that in Ravenloft is very much like Mordant, correct? Griffin Hell
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I do like Crimson Peak because the ghosts are the ones trying to help.
Yeah, the ghosts are actually, yeah. Ooh, and the ghosts look super cool in Crimson Peak as
they're,
well.
they're very well done.
Yeah, that's an interesting way that ghost stories often sort of juke, is that, oh, it turns out that the people are actually the bad ones. They're the evil villains, and the ghosts are not. They're incidental to what's actually going on. That is kind of the flip side of the coin of what possession horror tends to do. And there's some really really good possession horror out there, and it's a thing that I think is really easy to do in tabletop, right? So like The Exorcist and The Conjuring, and just all of these different examples of possession horror. You can do the creepiest things just through explaining things that are happening around the PCs, and you can imply all sorts of stuff, and it's that fear of the unknown in which the PCs are trying to make sense of what's happening and why these things would be happening, and how is somebody stabbed when there's no other person in that room. It's impossible. Trying to figure that out is really fun. I've seen players just like really get so engaged in the story because they don't understand what's going on until they peel back the clues of, oh, this makes sense because this is how the ghost died. This is what happened to the ghost child. This is what happened, and that's a big subgenre.
It's always like a bit of a mystery, a bit of a detective.
Yep. Yeah.
If you want to watch more videos on Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, we've got a whole lot more coming up. If you want to support the channel, you can check out the Amazon affiliate link in the description and purchase the book, or just like, subscribe, share with your friends, and leave some comments down below. I love talking about Ravenloft, so I'm going to keep doing it. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for watching.